welcome patrons to another Patreon episode.
Yeah, welcome patrons.
Hold on, time out. What was that? Why did you say it like that? Hold on? No, this is for why.
I don't know. My brain was like, you should just repeat what Nathan said, but
so you're making fun of me?
Like you're making fun of him. And I was like, yeah, okay, brain. That sounds like a solid plan. I'll do that.
I was about to say, like, Jamie, don't make fun of the patrons. They're our patrons, Jamie. You can't make fun of the patrons.
Oh my god.
Well, welcome to the episode where someone's getting made fun of. Yeah. It's either you listening or me. We'll say it's me. We'll say it's me being mocked for no reason.
Yeah. I'm just gonna use I'm recovering from COVID as an excuse for anything I say that isn't funny. Jamie made a joke that didn't land. You asshole, I'm recovering from COVID. How dare you?
Yeah, he lost his sense of taste and humor. Actually, did you lose any taste when you got COVID, Jamie?
I don't think so. I don't think that was one of them for me.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, it's Jamie and Nathan in this bonus episode.
Yay.
And thank you to everyone who voted. Again, we tend to do our episode polls very quickly because we go, we need to record. Because we always want to record a Quilber quest. That's like always our priority.
Right.
And then we don't have time to fit in schedule.
Exactly.
So then we're like, something else. So
right.
Thanks for voting, everyone. If you didn't vote, you should get emails whenever we put up a poll and just reply to those quickly.
Yeah,
right,
and if that's not happening, just let us know on one of our channels and we'll try to get it figured out.
Yeah, we'll get that figured out so you can also vote. Or if you just don't care, then I guess that works.
Because if there's one thing we've learned in this great nation of ours, everyone should have the right to vote.
That's right. But for us, you have to pay. You do have to pay.
You do have to pay for it.
You do have to pay for that right to vote.
Which is really undemocratic.
Yeah, $7 a month at least, yeah. Okay, the winner of this vote is going to be a little episode about the Keeper of the Gate on her hunt for the Aezomites.
In the deserts of Terrive.
The Ghatan desert.
That was it, thank you.
I did a little research for this one. Episode 220, season 2, episode 20, is when we had dinner in the desert with the Keeper. And she has a throwaway line that, we've been hunting many Aezomites. And I thought, let's explore that.
That sounds dope. Let's hear more about that, please.
It's rife with adventure.
Yeah.
So this story will be taking place before the Keeper meets our party. So it's prior to all of that at some point in the time. She'd been traveling for a while.
Right.
And that's all about we need.
Patreon episodes are interesting because, like, we're talking about possible ideas, and I'll be like, oh, that one sounds cool. I want to hear more about that. And then the monkey's paw turns around and is like, well, you gotta fucking do it then. And I'm like,
no, you gotta do it.
Right? I need to make that happen. Oops.
You want to be the one listening and learning, but instead you gotta be the one making it.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you wish you were a patron.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Instead of one of the creators of the show. Okay, well let's start. And I think for this one, I want to start with it is evening. The stars above twinkle above the cool sands of the Ghatan desert.
And also,
Do you want to be a Najaz?
Yeah, the little guys.
A little star crawler crawls across the sky real quick.
They're like my favorite part.
Yeah, of course. We'll throw those in there. But the Najaz, the star crawler, the little star gecko, scampers away real quickly as there is a scream in the desert. Just a blood-curdling scream. And we look down in the sand and we see the Keeper of the Gate. She is bent over, holding a long spear made out of glass, impaling the heart of an Aezomite.
Wow.
Who lays in the sand, letting out his final screech. The Aezomite again is part man, part scorpion.
Damn.
As he lays there with his final scream, he goes silent, and the desert returns to its quiet state.
Wow. That's a hell of an image, yeah. One of the attendants, I don't really know what word to use for the people in this caravan of hunters. I guess just one of the other hunters.
One of the other hunters.
Yeah. Approaches her and says, Keeper, our scouts tell us that this was the last one in this area, at least. in this portion of the desert, we have succeeded in our goal.
The keeper pulls out the glass spear and just kind of lets it return to the sand beneath her, and she says, Tirlan, thank you for this information. You have always been a wise hunter. And our scouts, I trust them. I do, but I cannot shake the feeling that there are more. Maybe it's just because we've been on the hunt for so long. I am always prepared for another, but I cannot scratch the feeling that we're not done yet.
Do you want to search again before we make camp?
I think the keeper, she wipes some sweat from her brow and looks around, and she says, no, I will trust my scouts. If they say that the area is clear, then the area is clear. But I will say before we depart tomorrow, I think it would be wise to at least do some final searches before we move on to some more dunes or other reaches of the Ghatan desert.
Tirlan bows. Like a smaller half bow, like sort of like to acknowledge that statement.
Yeah.
And then her demeanor changes a little bit, and she says, but also, are you all right? Are you? That was a lot. Do you need me to get you anything, or? She becomes a lot less professional all of a sudden.
The keeper puts up her hand and she says, Tirlan, we have fought countless Aezomites, and it is always a lot, but I will be fine. I think she coughs up, and you can see that some of the smoke that the Aezomites will create, that fear smoke, is parting.
Ooh, okay.
And so she says, this one was not as bad as previous. I think I'm growing more immune to their tactics.
Of course.
But you're right, it doesn't stop hurting.
Well, we should
Right.
join the others.
Yes, Tirlan, go tell the other hunters to begin setting up the tent.
She does that. She heads towards where the rest of their camp is located. Is this where we get a visual of the sand drakes as well, or will we not see those until they actually travel?
No, the sand drakes are there. Yeah. So Tirlan returns to the other 10 hunters, and I like that. Maybe they're all hunters, right? They can all hunt the Aezomites, but they all got different roles. So maybe there's a couple that are scouts.
Yeah.
There are a couple that are there to tend the sand drakes. That's their priorities, to keep them, make sure they're safe. A couple are there for the more survival needs, setting up the tent and doing the cooking.
Oh, yeah.
And Tirlan is just kind of the leader, the head hunter.
Yeah.
Head hunter.
I think a couple of them are this is gonna sound odd, but they're scholars in fear and psychology, because that's something they need to study up on, especially when they're confronting these creatures that prey on fear,
Yes.
And it's a weird intersection of battle tactics and also talking about your emotions.
Yeah. So they're kind of they're therapists.
Yeah.
But also scholars.
Oh,
and
yes. I'm trying to think of a funny name for it, but nothing's coming to mind. Yeah.
I think one of those, I'm just going to say fear wardens.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. Fear wardens.
One of the fear wardens goes up to Tirlan and says, how is she doing?
I believe she is putting on a brave face. But that does not mean that she is lying. Somewhere between as all right as she says and a little worse than she says. But I trust her.
How about you, Tirlan? You were also caught in the smoke as well. Did you also see your father again?
Yes, but only from a distance. And then suddenly it was over.
This is good. This is as tragic as the Aezomites' powers is. It is quite an intriguing study to see the effects of fear on a subject who is constantly being revealed the same fear over and over again. And you, Tirlan, are a great example of overcoming such fears. I mean, the journeys of your story it's truly remarkable. The other scholars in the gate would marvel at such a discovery.
Oh, you don't need to be such flattering words with me. Though they are appreciated. I would just as soon move on with our mission.
Of course. Anyway, you should go and take care of yourself. We do not need any weak hunters on the party.
Thank you, Ayan.
Tirlan returns to the camp.
Oh, yeah.
Relays the information.
Do you think they camp during the day and travel at night? Is that something we talked about?
We have talked about that before. I think maybe they change it up.
Okay.
I think it depends upon the Aezomites.
Oh, okay.
So maybe actually they're in the tent, and the keeper has returned. She's eaten, and she's cleaned herself up after the fight. I think the fear wardens have brought in the Aezomite's body and are analyzing it. Like, they're not like dissecting it. They've done that a long time ago. Like, this is not, their first time, but they're taking, maybe there's some valuable resources out of it. Some of it's ichor.
Right.
The keeper, Tirlan, and maybe one of the like other just general hunters is there, and the keeper says, "Okay, so the scouts have reported that this area is clear, but my senses tell me that there is something else afoot, but I cannot put words to it. Though, Tirlan, I lean on you. You are of course my second, and I trust your judgment." But I would hope you would understand that my instincts have not been wrong yet.
We would need to decide where to point our search to begin with. There are few directions in which our scouts have not already set their sights and found nothing.
I think they've got a map of the Ghatan desert in front of them.
Yeah.
And they've like shown the different areas where they've been.
Yep.
Different like points like the Oasis, the Sandpost, and like other cities that we haven't explored yet.
Right.
And it shows that they've traveled, all around the Ghatan desert, primarily in the eastern half. But they have traveled even close to, I think Valena is what I named the city of Blossoms.
Okay.
Yeah, the capital. But it moved all over. And it shows, maybe there's a couple marks where the scouts have recently looked. There's like a ring around to the north, south, east, west. And the keeper looks at it and she's, yes, they have done a thorough search and they have never missed anything. Unless, and she taps exactly where they are on the map. What if it isn't in a direction the scouts have gone? What if what we're seeking is deeper, is under the sands?
Tirlan is going to turn to some of the others, the more scholarly members of the group. Is there any record of this? Is there any possibility that such for Aezomites to make their escape below the surface of the sand, is such a thing? Is this possible?
I think we'll just keep it with Eilon. Is there?
Yeah.
Well, the Aezomites' culture has been one of the few lacking areas of our study. We have learned how they conduct their fear magic, how they hunt, how they attack, and how they like to be solitary creatures. But it is not impossible for them to be underground. I mean, there are Ustra dungeons everywhere, and again, that is also a record that is not as complete as we would like it to have been. But there are not any known dungeons here, which could lead to the fact there might be an unknown dungeon here. Though how we would enter, that is also a mystery.
If we were to simply begin excavating, even if we had an idea of where to start, we would need equipment, we would need safety precautions,
Stop. We would need none of these things. You underestimate the power of which we possess over these sands. There will be no need for tools. In the morning, all 12 of us shall work together to clear out these sands. That is an order.
After the keeper says that, Tirlan turns to her and hesitantly says, "My keeper, I fully support this plan. However, I must caution that the expenditure of this coordinated magic may be greater than we anticipate."
It will require much of our strength. This is true, which is why it is important that we all get a good night's rest.
Yeah.
We have been sent by the highest order to hunt down every Aezomite, no matter how much it costs. If even one survives, it is a threat to the entire desert, to our entire way of life, And if there is even a chance that there is one below us, then we must do everything we can to find it.
Of course. And there are no more objections. At least from my person. Yeah, I guess there could be more objections, but...
I think everyone else stays quiet. They all rest. And the next day, the Sandrake keepers, tenders, watchers? Sandrake watchers. Get the 4 Sandrakes to help. As the Sandrakes kind of maybe start like swimming in the sand, kind of like loosen it up in the area around their camp.
Interesting, okay.
And then all of the members of the caravan, of the hunting party, begin moving the sand out using the sand magic.
Okay, yeah.
So it's kind of like flowing it out and maybe using a little bit of the magic too to like solidify it once it's moved out of the way. So
it doesn't just rush back in, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I have to imagine is exhausting, right? Like, It seems like a big effort to move and hold all of this material in place, yeah.
Yeah, I think even though they are very talented, very powerful magicians, and most of the anima that they require does come from the sand itself.
Right.
It is tiring, and they work at it for, I would think, maybe the whole day. Or maybe, I'm going to roll D20, just for chances. Okay, yeah, 16 hours.
Ooh, okay.
So they probably start in the morning, and it's not until evening that they... Because, what would it be? 9? Let's say they started at like 6 o'clock.
It would be the next midnight, yeah.
Yeah.
Nope, I lied. Be late. It would be 10, yeah.
Like 9 or 10 p.m. So it's a full day of work.
Absolutely.
And how does Tirlan feel about it? I mean, is she going to like throw a fit, or is she going to just, nope, we got to do it?
No, she's not upset at the disagreement. She is nervous about the possibility of something going horribly wrong. So if nothing has gone horribly wrong yet, she feels okay. But she's also not thrilled that this is the path they're going with either.
Right. They end up getting a good system of, as they get deeper, they kind of like conveyor belt it. So there's like one person at the bottom of the pit, one person in the middle, and they kind of like push it up, and the other person, it's like sand bending. But they're like slowly moving it out. Person on the top solidifies it, and they kind of get like even like a little wall around them of this like sandstone that they've made.
But they're like terraforming a part of the desert. Yeah.
They're able to get deeper, and I think there's a couple times where the keeper, she like pauses everyone, and she like gestures to another part, and so they focus the area over there.
Sure.
And after 16 hours, they see that it isn't sand that they're removing, that there is stone there at the base of the area that they've been digging.
Yeah.
And I think it's at that point, then the keeper calls for everyone to stop and say, "You have all worked very hard tonight, and today, and this whole day. We have clearly found something, but if the other side does contain danger of any kind, we are in no condition to be facing it. We shall rest again for tonight, and tomorrow we shall breach this wall and see what lies on the other side."
I shall organize a watch crew for the hours of the night.
Excellent. They keep careful watch as the Najaz above skitters around and keeps guard over their sleep. The next day, after everyone has slept and a good meal has been made, they all gather around, and a couple people have been pushing just a little bit more of the sand aside, so it's not just one spot, but there's now maybe like a 20-foot radius circle of cleared sand, and it's smooth stone.
And it is horizontal, correct? It's like the bottom of a hole? Okay, yeah.
Yes, yeah, it is way too smooth to be like some form of bedrock. Like it is smooth, and you actually are able to see there are some straight lines that go across.
Perhaps until a better name is found, we shall refer to this as the Unknown Dungeon.
The Unknown Dungeon. My second least favorite part of this desert. Tirlan, are you prepared to find whatever is on the other side?
I think Tirlan just nods. She's obviously still nervous about it, but yes.
I think one of the like other hunters approaches, and maybe she's got like some of the more destructive sand magic abilities.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
I shall name her
Okay.
Corlay.
Corlay?
Corlay.
All right. I think Corlay is definitely slightly less formal than the others, and kind of cracks her knuckles as she looks over this stone area where they can't see a whole lot of distinguishing features except those lines you mentioned running across, and she says, "All right. Have we already established the optimal point, or am I doing this, sort of just winging it?"
Corley, it seems that the surface is uniform. You may begin anywhere.
All right, so we're winging it. All right. And she like gets down on like her hands and knees, and she's like sort of hitting the surface in a way that doesn't make sense to the others. Like they don't really know what she's looking for, and she's just like, yes, I see. And then she like crawls over to a different spot and does the same thing, and she's just like, and stroking her chin. And then she stands up and she's like, "This might take a bit. Anyway, you need to move a little bit away so you're not standing on the rock itself.
Everyone clears out.
How about right?" And then she slaps her hand down on the surface again, and I think we see a very thin stream of sand that is coming from one of the other areas where they move their sand. So it's not much, but it's a thin column of sand that goes up into the air and goes down at a point that she pressed her hand against, right? And I'm not sure how to describe this, but like the principle of rock and other kinds of minerals being eroded by sand over time, that's what I'm picturing in my head, but magically sped up by a ridiculous amount, right? So it's
it's like the sand comes in and acts like a column of sandpaper.
Yeah.
Like drills its way through the stone.
Exactly, yeah. So she was trying to find like the optimal point to begin that process. If there were any crevices, if there were any weak, even small spots, because that could be widened and effectively eroded up into a much bigger opening, right?
Gotcha.
So basically that's how it gets started. And then after that, it's just a drill of sand magically making its way through the stone entrance. Yeah.
I love that. Okay. And I don't think that takes too long. I think the column starts small.
Yeah.
As there's like a small point, and then as the radius of this impression grows, more sand gets in. It almost becomes like a whirling sand tornado.
Absolutely,
as it drills a hole, and everyone else just kind of watches. This is standard procedure. This is what Corley does. I'm imagining Corley is smiling, seeing it happening.
Yeah. I might want to take back some of the lines about how, like, oh, they don't know why she's doing this. Because, like, of course they would know why she's doing this. They've been in this crew for a while. Yeah. That seems a bit silly in retrospect. But yeah, that's the way
she does it makes it like they're not sure what she's looking for, but they're like, that's Corley.
Yeah.
Just let her do her thing.
Yeah.
I should describe this 30 minutes ago, but everyone in the hunting party is wearing leather armor that is like a crimson and a deep yellow color.
Okay.
And they're all brandished. They all have like daggers on their side, but they also, maybe some do have like real spears, but most of them are capable of creating, glass weapons when need be. Or they have like, I think you see someone just like practicing in the background. They have an actual dagger that they'll then create a handle, like a long spear handle with the dagger as the head.
Ooh, okay.
So that way it's like still a metal tip, but they can make it a longer weapon.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And so Corley does her thing. And I think while that's happening, it would probably take still at least an hour.
Yeah.
Because it's sand erosion. And I think while it's going on, the keeper is brought in to their temporary tent again by Aylan, and Tirlan comes in. Aylan says, Keeper, while we have all been excavating, me and Cool, that's the other fear warden, Cool.
His name is Cool.
Yes, he is the one man. He is the one man in our group.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oops, I forgot.
No, that's fine. He's the wacko. He's the wacko of the group. He's like, yeah.
He's so weird that they brought him along.
Yeah, but he's crazy smart. So that's why he even though he's not a woman, he made it. He made it on the crew.
Amazing.
Cool made a discovery last night where we had noticed that the ichor, the blood of an Aezomite, is nearly identical to the venom of the black scorpions.
Oh.
It seems we have not compared them before, but it is clear that over these hundreds of years of evolution, that their blood is as toxic as the venom of scorpions.
God, I'm trying to get in the mindset of like what a culture's like rulers would do with this information.
I think the keeper says, this is a interesting point you bring forward, but why is that something you share with us now? Could us not have waited until another briefing? We are about to potentially have another attack. Well, I thought it would be notable because we have been fortunate to have been have the upper hand in all of our fights against the Aezomites. But if for some reason their blood were to get into our veins, or maybe be ingested, we do not know if it is poisonous as well as toxic and venomous.
We would be just as incapacitated as if we were fighting the scorpions of Abu Alab himself.
And as we well know, that is something that we do not want to have. We are grateful that we have not been put on scorpion duty. We have been put on Aezomite duty. But it could be that this is one and the same.
We need to be even more wary and careful, even more so than before, during our encounters. If a fight was to break out, we
shall proceed with caution, but we shall proceed. One last thing, Keeper, is this is mine and Cool's hypothesis, and it still has more study to be done, but again, something that we think is worth coming to your attention. The hallucinogenic effects of the scream of an Aezomite, of their smoke. We do believe this is also connected to that same toxin in their blood. That this toxin is what causes the images and the visions to appear in your mind. So it is likely that if you were to be poisoned or impacted by their blood, it could have similar effects.
Then the venom is also traveling through the air? Even through sound?
That is again where our knowledge ceases. We do not know for sure. This would have to be something we would need to collect samples of the smoke, but again, it is, well, there are other concerns when we are in the combat than getting vials of their saliva or their sound. I do not even know how we would capture this.
Of course.
I think it's at that point someone rushes in, just one of the scouts, and says, Keeper, Tirlan, the correlay has finished. There is a hole into a tunnel.
Yeah, gotta go see it. I feel like that's a natural place to end that conversation.
Yeah, they rush out to the bottom of the hole, and they see, the work of that correlay has done has indeed drilled a hole through the stone and has revealed a tunnel underneath.
Oh boy, there it is.
Dark and mysterious and cold.
Oh, you know what? Tirlan is going to talk to Eilon and is going to say, as soon as we get out of this particular encounter, remind me to look into uniforms and equipment that may be able to withstand the venom, potentially earplugs. There is a lot of information we could be working with now that we have learned this. But yes, not right now. It will have to be for later.
Of course, I shall talk to Cool about it, and maybe he will get working on it.
Excellent.
You know his brain; he never stops working.
I shudder to think what Cool would see under the effects of the Aezomites' cry.
That's true. We do not know what is Cool afraid of.
Cool might not be afraid of anything. Yeah.
He might be. That is why he is the only man in this group. He might not be afraid of anything.
Cool hears the Aezomites cry, and his hallucination is just a guy standing there saying, boredom. No! Also, I am picturing Cool's name spelled as Kuul.
Love it. Gotta be.
It's gotta be.
Yep. It's gotta be. Cool is our comic relief for this.
Yeah, we haven't even talked to him yet. Yeah.
I hope Cool stays alive.
Of course. All right, we're going to the tunnel.
Okay. I'm going to say Tirlan. Does Tirlan take the lead?
Yeah, why not? Yeah. No, you know what? Not why not. Tirlon is the second in command of the fucking party. Yes.
Yep.
With confidence.
Tirlon leaps into the hole, and I think they've got to have torches or something.
Oh, yeah,
no,
gotta.
It's not fire. They got magic.
Ooh, I like that.
They've got some kind of like glowing stone that they put into a glass container at the end of a glass handle that they make. So they've got these glow stones that they can just turn into torches. And it emits, because of the glass, it kind of is able to increase its effects.
Oh,
almost like a lens or like a light bulb does.
Yeah, the way the facets are, it is able to like redirect the light and magnify it. Yeah.
But there's one part that you can use as like a focal point. So it's a general light.
Oh,
but there's a beam in the front.
And if they can bend glass, they could change it whenever they need it. Yes. They could like hold it forward and shift it so that it becomes like this flashlight or something.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Glass magic is so cool.
Glass magic, yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so she's got this glow wand, glow scepter.
We'll just call them scepters for now.
The light scepter.
Yeah.
The scepter.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't need a fancy name.
Right.
So she's got her light scepter.
Yeah.
She can see that the tunnel itself is about the size of a hallway. So you could maybe have a couple people walking side by side.
Sure.
Same height, but it extends really far down one way and really far down the other. And it is clearly not a natural forming cave. The walls are smooth. It's like a square hallway. So this is not some cave. This is indeed some dungeon tunnel.
Yes.
What do you see, Tirlon?
Oh, I sometimes forget that I'm contributing to this story. Yeah, as they're going along, it opens up into not the biggest cavern in the world, but it is a cavern, and the immediate eye-catching feature is that it opens up into a slightly wider place to stand, but unfortunately after that it is a sheer drop. And then a distance away, there's another platform to continue on, like the rest of the tunnel, right? But between here and there is quite a gap. And I think once she relays that information, she kind of uses the scepter just in the way we were describing to try to shine a light to see how deep the area in front of them is. But it's no good. You can't tell. So it's pretty deep. They're gonna have to find some way across.
So she goes back to the opening. She found the pit.
Yeah.
Goes back, and the keeper says, "Okay, we shall send down a small squadron. But we shall not send down all 12 of us. Based on the size of this hallway, it seems like we would just get congested. Tirlon, I want you to lead the group. Corley, you shall accompany her. And then, should it be Eilon or Cool that goes with?
We gotta send Cool with.
All right, Cool's like,
let's do it.
All right. Come on. I want to go eat. Come on. I got this. Thank you, keeper. Excellent. I will not let you down. Cool, I am surprised every day by your presence on this party. But I can also not imagine a day without you here as well.
Aww.
So I think the three of them head down, and maybe one of the scouts stays at the main point in the tunnel.
Sure.
So just as an easy communicator point, but those three are going to be the ones that are kind of sent on the expedition down the tunnel.
See, I set this up without actually having a plan of how they're going to get past it.
Maybe then Cool says, "Let's make a bridge. Come on."
Upon hearing that, Corley sort of shrugs and she says, "Yeah, I mean, I'm down for this idea. If we're able to take the solid walls and somehow convert them into sand, we can move into a bridge. I just don't know if that's feasible. I don't know if that's safe, but I'm willing to give it a shot. We can do our best."
I think there's probably, I guess that would be, maybe there is some sand that is seeped through,
okay.
In the corners.
Okay.
Or if there isn't, they go and get some from outside.
yeah.
And bring it in and just kind of kick it with them and create a glass bridge.
Okay.
That spans the expanse. Again, takes some time.
Yeah.
But they're not here for speed. They're here for efficiency.
Right. Okay. Now, we are not going to test the strength and stability of this bridge we have quickly constructed. We are going to send one person across at a time, and at the first hint of anything not holding up, you come right back. Do you understand? Yes.
Got it.
Yes, of course.
We got it.
Yes.
We got this. May I go first?
Sure.
I have been waiting to prove myself in the realms of combat and expedition.
Oh boy.
So cool. He walks across. He's not a cocky, arrogant asshole, but he's not scared. And he gets his foot on the glass bridge and he taps it a little bit. He's like, "It is solid." He takes a couple more steps. "It is good."
Okay.
And he walks all the way to the other side of the glass bridge. And again, there's like a platform. I think now that you're actually like looking, you kind of shine the beam on him and see there's like a couple paths on that side.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, "Everyone, it is fine. It is sturdy. It is." And then maybe like you weren't looking at him for a moment. You're kind of like looking at the glass and you look up.
Stop.
And he's gone.
No, god damn it. Oh my god. Okay.
And you see, as you shine the beam, you see just a flash of movement in one of the exits.
I hate that. Okay. Yeah, I think there's a very quick huddled discussion with both of my characters, and the consensus ends up being, we're gonna get this information back to the Keeper.
Oh, so they're not gonna go rush after him?
Rush after him? Fucking a person just vanished across a possibly unstable bridge. I feel like if we all vanish, that's going to be much worse.
Dang, okay. I guess that you go back and relay the information.
Yeah.
The Keeper says...
As quickly as possible, but yes.
They rush back and they say, "Hey, Cool is gone." And they say, "Well, go after them. Go and rescue him."
Yeah, yes, okay, yes, on it. Okay, we had very different interpretations of this scene.
2 more scouts they come with you. Like, she's not going to send just the 2 of you, but...
Okay, yeah, I guess, okay. Sure, let's do it. Fuck it. The new, smaller party is going across the bridge to try to dart into the tunnel that we saw Cool vanish from.
Okay, so the 4 of you, again, you're 2 characters and just 2 scouts.
Yeah.
You cross the bridge, and again, it is sound.
Love it.
I think, do you all go across at the same time or still one at a time?
Still one at a time. I am not confident that we had enough sand to make it, like, big and sturdy, you know?
Okay, so since it's only one at a time, you make it across just fine. You start following the tunnel that you saw the movement in.
Right.
And at first it's easy going. The tunnel is straight. Maybe it takes a turn.
Sure.
It takes a turn, but it's just one path. But then at one point you do reach a fork in the road, and the path splits. One of the scouts says, "Tirlan, what do we do?"
Who has equipment to write things down?
Yes, I do.
All right, mark down the first of the choices we took back at the bridge, and then mark down left. And then they take the left one.
Okay. And so the scout will then start recording their travel.
Yes.
Maybe there's a couple... There's one more intersection they have to choose. Yeah. But it's not like 1,000. And they reach a dead end.
All right. I guess we need to go back to the last branch in the road.
Tirlan, is there perhaps... Are we just going to continue to wander, hitting dead ends? I mean, I guess I don't know how we would know.
I think the wall of the dead end that they found, Corley is like, everyone just be quiet for a second. Just for a minute. Shh. And then she like puts her ear up to that wall. And I want to... This doesn't have to work. I'm okay with this not working and she can't hear anything, but I am curious if there's anything she picks up on. Like anything that could help her figure out which tunnel they should have gone down, or if there's something behind this blank wall, or nothing.
Yeah, roll just 2 greens and 2 purples.
Yeah, all right.
And just see what the result is of that.
Love it.
An undecided moment. We use dice.
That was a very boring, sad roll. It was 1 failure total.
Okay. I think, she listens in at the wall. Can't hear anything.
Yeah, everyone went quiet because she asked them to, and then she's like, "No, I can't hear anything."
That's why failure is one of my least favorite rolls.
Yeah.
Okay, then they return, and maybe they go into their path. Yeah. Roll it again.
Same
2
thing.
greens, 2 purples. Yeah. Just want to see if this is more successful.
Yeah.
In this path.
Or at the very least more interesting.
That's true.
I got a failure with 2 advantages.
Okay, so they go down this path.
Yeah.
This one's like a caved-in dead
Ooh,
end.
yeah.
Like some actual sand and rubble has filled in the spot.
Right, like the tunnel has collapsed at some point.
But then it's at this point when the scouts realizes that there is a thin layer of sand that is on the ground.
From the cave-in. Okay,
but it's like covers the entire dungeon, almost like dust is covering the floor. And then they realize, we can be tracking the movement.
Sorry?
They retrace their steps back to the first intersection, And they can see where they went on the ground, right? All the sand has been moved and rustled by their movement. But the other direction, they can see that there has been also movement in this thin layer of sand in the ground.
Sure.
So they track that.
Yeah.
And they follow it. And again, there's another intersection, but this time they know which way to go. They can see the mark in the sand, and eventually it leads them to a room. It's not a super large room, just standard size room. But as they were approaching, they heard noises, and so they approached softly. I'll give them that as a second advantage, that they were able to hear ahead a little bit. So the group of 4 proceeds quietly forward.
Yeah.
And as they get, and maybe they dim, they're able to dim the...
Yeah. Stealth mode.
Yeah, clouding the glass. So the glowstone's still glowing, but it's been darkened. And they step forward, and it is truly a dark room. So they have to have it glowing a little bit. But, there's no other source of light in here. And they see 2 people.
Okay.
One is very clearly cool. He's got the, red and yellow leather armor.
Right.
And he's kind of laying on the ground.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It always comes back.
Right.
But there is another human standing over him.
Okay.
And they do not recognize this human. This human has very tattered clothes. But other than that, they're not able to see much because it's very dim light. But as this human is standing over Cool, and it's kind of searching Cool, checking through his pockets and his stuff.
Okay.
There is a soft, by soft I mean dim, not very bright, a dim green light coming from the eyes of this other human.
Cool. Love that.
That's who, Cool is in the room. Yes.
Funny. I want to have Tirlon, direct the squad to split into 2 and, try to flank around.
They follow the commands. Her and Corley are on one half.
Right.
The 2 scouts are on the other.
Right.
They're able to be silent around here as the ruffling goes on, and Cool's just what do you want? Please, who are you? But the other person is just remaining silent, and so it's his talking is able to muffle over the sound of your movement.
Okay.
And everyone's in position. What do you do?
We gotta take him down, right? I'm trying to think of what weapons we would have. Or if it would be
your daggers.
Or if it'd be all magic, baby.
There's some sand on the ground here.
Yeah, I think Tirlon tries to silently communicate to Corley, go low, or legs, right? So Corley is going to try to use sand to have it whip up and grab at his legs.
Yes.
While Tirlon is going to, I think, just pull out a dagger and try to take this dude on.
I like that. So easy. You pull this off flawlessly. Again,
excellent,
you guys are
excellent.
Expert hunters.
They're team. They're a squad. They've been doing this for a long time.
They got this. Corley is able to use the little sand in the room to just grab his legs enough that it's not holding him down, but enough that when Tirlon comes in and is able to grab him, he's tripped. He's caught by it. He's not able to catch his footing. And they've got him pinned to the ground, and Tirlon's got the knife.
Right.
I'm assuming she's not just straight up killing him, right?
No, I don't think that'd be helpful right this second. Yeah, I think she's going to use that threat to be who are you? What are you doing here?
One of the scouts then brandishes the light, turns it back on and shines it on him, and you're able to get a better look at this human. He was a Terrivian human. He's got his darker skin, black hair, but some things that stand out is clearly he has been out in the desert for some time. Again, rough, weathered skin, bristling beard, dirty clothes. But the 2 things that are very abnormal is, one, his eyes are green.
Right.
So, not just his iris, but, it's green on green. It's glowing slightly.
It's a bright green, for sure.
Yeah. Which, again, is not the color of Terrivian eyes.
No,
Terrivian
not traditionally, no.
And the other thing is that the veins on his arm and on his neck are dark black. I mean, just
oh god,
inky, dark as night black, all over his body. And you can see that as you've got him pinned, he is surprised and scared and is going to take him back. And he goes, who are you?
And Carley says, we are looking for an escaped Aezomite in this dungeon. Have you seen him?
Oh, I only wish I had something as fresh as that.
Fresh?
Yes. And you see he like his fear like pauses for a moment, and you see like a brief smile as you say that. He's like, yes, indeed. Everything I've had has been dried and stale for years.
Were you trapped down here?
That is the question I ask all the time. Am I trapped? Did I trap myself down here? I think I chose it at first, but does this life trap you? I do not.
What did you want with Cool? And she kind of jerks her head, so it's obvious she's talking about the guy lying over there.
I could smell it. He has some on him, yes.
Some what?
The venom.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Corley is gonna turn to him and just be like, Cool, do you know what he's talking about? Are you,
I have some of the ichor on me still. I kept it with me.
Okay, yeah, you do. Okay, yeah, that's fair. I don't know what to make of this guy. Tirlon is just going to kind of shake her head and ignore that weird thing he said just now and say to the others, like, we have found Cool. We are going to bring him back, and we will relay what we have learned. We do not need to trouble more over this. And I think they're just going to try to take the guy and leave.
Yeah. So they take the guy. He squirms at first, but they're far stronger. He's clearly physically weak.
Makes sense.
Not got much meat on his bones.
Yeah.
And they bring him back. They cross the bridge. Whoever's carrying him when they cross the bridge, there's definitely it creaks a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, there's not much weight to this structure, but they get across.
Yeah.
And they bring them back to the entrance.
Right.
And everyone climbs back out. I guess they bring him to the tent, and the keeper's there. I guess some others, Eilon is there as well. Just kind of like, oh, like, cool, you've made a discovery. Interesting.
You found a whole person, yeah.
And I guess the keeper just quickly asks you, Tirlon, okay, what do you know?
We don't know much. We know he claims to be stuck down in this unknown dungeon for some time, but he also claims that he chose to be there. He was in some sort of frenzy trying to find the venom that Cool had on his person. Beyond that, he would say very little.
Okay. This is clearly the source of my agitation. I in my entire being, when you brought him out, I felt it. So whatever he is, and whatever he is wanting was what I sensed was in this presence. So whether he does not look like an Aezomite. He is clearly just a man, but there is more to him, and I believe it would be advantageous for us to at least answer this question. Tirlon, I want you to lead the interrogation.
As you command.
Your objective is to learn why he wanted the venom, how he got down there, and if there are more like him.
Yes, my keeper. And do we just cut over to the interrogation?
Yeah, they're in the interrogation. He's being held, bound by the sand now. They've got it where it's trapped him, and they've hardened it around him into shackles on his feet and on his arms.
I think, honestly, the first thing she just asks him is, what is your name?
Oh, I cannot remember what it was. Maybe it started with a T? No, it was a Shah, maybe? Yes, it was a Shah. That is good enough for now.
Right, then we will call you Shah. You said it was so long ago. Do you know how long you were down there?
It was before I had any... And he strokes his chin.
Yeah.
Before I had any of this, and my legs were thicker, and my belly was full.
God, this is so creepy. She says, it must have been very difficult.
I think he shakes his head and he chuckles. He says, no, it was everything I imagined it to be. You wouldn't mind if I had some of your venom now? It would give me strength.
I will give you some once you've answered my questions.
You are a tough woman.
How does the venom give you strength?
He looks around and sees, his surroundings. Says, you are hunters, it seems. You are hunting what?
Do you know of the Aezomites?
I know of the Aezomites. I know of them. I know of them very well. They're why I'm here.
Are you hunting them as well?
In a sense, yes.
Are you the only one who is hunting them in a sense?
No, there are others. Though I do not know where they are now. They did leave me here, or at least not tell me the way back. And you see he's now like really like internally thinking.
Yeah.
Was that on purpose? Did I offend them in some way? No, they were jealous. They were jealous that I was better at it than them. That I was more blessed.
This group that left you and was jealous of you, where were you from?
All over. From the gate, from Valena, from villages you've never heard of. But yet we all found a common passion.
And what was that?
The venom. Please, just a small bit, if you could. It would really be a very nice gesture if you could just give me just a small part. Now I've answered your questions.
What did Ailan say? They found out that the venom was the same as the scorpion.
Yes, she said the blood of an Aezomite is nearly identical to the venom of the scorpion.
Right.
And that they believe that it is connected to the fear hallucinations.
Yeah, I want to get Ailan over here if that's possible.
Yeah.
I can talk to her and just really quick give her the question of like, is the question of giving him what he asks, is this inadvisable?
Under our current understanding, it would kill him. This is a strongest venom that we are aware of.
Yeah, God. Okay, I think she is going to do it. She's going to give him at least a small amount of the venom that they have on them.
And I think as she brings it closer, he's like, you can see like he's getting excited and he's like sweating and he's like, yes, just right in here. And he's like,
of course.
And I think he's like, I guess his arms are chained, but he's like gesturing to like his arm. He's like, yes, right in there.
Okay. I guess very carefully she pours some of it onto his arm and then tries to back the fuck up.
And then he's like, no. Put it in. Like you were the scorpion yourself.
What? This is horrifying. Okay, so Shah wants someone to inject this shit into his arm.
Yes.
I hate that. I guess we get someone to get a syringe?
Yeah, he probably has a syringe.
Oh,
you can make
God,
one.
This is
easy.
weird. I feel bad morally for doing this, but yeah, we go for it. We see what happens.
Yeah, you inject the venom into his vein, and you can see he kind of like inhales when you do so.
Yeah.
And his eyes, they start to like flicker brighter a little bit.
This is the weirdest.
And he like leans his head back and he just kind of like smiles. He's like, thank you. Oh, it has been some time. Tell me, what is it that you fear?
No, that is not how this is going to work. You are going to tell me what you are looking for and why.
I think as he's kind of leans his head back and he starts like chuckling a little bit more.
Right.
And he says, and like his voice starts like echoing a little bit more.
Classic.
He says, you should not have poured it on the ground and aerosolized the venom. And I think...
Oh, God damn it. Okay.
Tilan looks around and realizes that there's like a faint smoke has
really?
been pouring from where it like descended on the ground.
Oh, God.
And he says, so you shall join me too. As he like, his like voice is just like reverberating in your head as you start to get a little bit of like a headache. And he says, so how about we both go down together?
Tirlan's gonna try to stab him. I mean, she has the dagger on her, right?
Yeah.
Let's just she's gonna try to stab him in the neck. This is ridiculous.
I was like, kill him.
Yeah.
Kill him.
Yeah. This has very quickly crossed the line from, I'm gonna be a helpful prisoner giving you information to, I'm doing some Aezomite shit and I'm threatening to kill you. So she's not having this. Yeah.
Let's do an attack roll.
Okay.
Again, it's probably not gonna be hard. I assume you've got an attack of 4 as the head hunter.
Nice. Love
so
that.
2 yellows, 2 greens.
Oh my God.
Difficulty will be 1 because he's an immovable, unarmored man. But make that 1 a red.
Okay.
And do 2 setbacks. So you'll probably succeed.
This is a fun color combination. We don't usually have this.
Yeah.
Whoo, baby. Okay, we've got a success, 3 advantages,
Nice.
and a triumph. Fuck.
Okay, so
It's a lot.
I think you're like starting to hallucinate, right? You're getting this headache. You're like wobbling a little bit, but like your instinct just kicks in.
Yeah.
Right? And you just go for the dagger as he's making these threats into the neck. Like before you can even think about it.
Right.
It's just in the neck, and you see his blood coming out. It is red mixed with black.
Hate that.
Like you know how like oil and water don't mix?
Yeah.
It's like that pouring out of the neck. And I think the 3 advantages plus a triumph.
Yeah, right? I wasn't expecting that.
I'm going to say that Tirlan has just an ability that she has as a hunter
Damn, okay.
that taps into the anima of a person when she kills them.
Whew, okay.
So like whenever she kills someone, she's able to like get glimpses of who they were as like in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Whenever you like kill your opponent, you kind of get like a glimpse
Sure.
of their inner subconscious.
Okay.
And so she gets just a glimpse of who Shah was.
Wow, okay.
And she sees his life. It starts off in, a small village where he one day goes out and is stung by a smaller giant scorpion, which is like cow-sized, right?
Sure.
And he has these terrifying fear dreams, but he lives, and it ends up he seeks more of that venom, and he meets others like him who have these glowing green eyes, and they're able to give him some of that venom, and they like basically have like these drug houses where they hallucinate on the venom itself.
Oh my god, okay.
And he's kicked out from his home. They find this dungeon where they kill an Aezomite who's down here to get some of that fresh.
Oh, they kill him for his blood. Oh my god, okay.
But then there's a fight between him and some of these other green-eyed people, and he gets left behind. And that's where he's trapped, and you find that he had some blood left behind, but it starts drying up, and it's not the same. He's running out of water, and that's when he then smells fresh blood and kidnaps Cool and brings you to this moment. So then as he sputters out his last breath, he says, "You may think that you are overcoming your fear, but you are just becoming it." And then he dies.
That's curious.
I think it's at this moment that the keeper then rushes in, as you've killed the prisoner, and she says, "Tirlan, what is going on?"
Where to begin?
You're still like staggering a they and the keeper sees the smoke.
Yeah, we gotta air out the tent. We need more ventilation.
She says, "Alan, Cool, get in here." They rush in, and Cool's got like a glass jar, and he like just catches some of the smoke, and he's like, "I got it."
Excellent.
I guess it's 3 advantages, so you won't pass out. But I do think you are still woozy.
Definitely.
And there is a moment when you turn and you see the keeper, you blink, and it's your father.
Yeah.
For just a moment. And what does he do? What does he do that you're afraid of?
He's standing in front of a burning building. But I think that's it for just a second, you know?
Yeah, she blinks, it's the keeper again.
Yeah, exactly.
The keeper gets her out of there. She's able to, they give her some water.
Yeah.
Flush it out of her system. This they know how to do, right? They know how to get it out of you.
Yeah.
Because they've done this before. The fear wardens take some notes on what you see.
Oh, yeah,
tell them?
She tells him the whole story. She tells him, like, how he responded to the questions, but also what she saw in those visions when she killed him.
Oh, yes. Very useful. I love that.
Yeah.
And the keeper says, "So, we have a new potential threat in our desert. There are the scorpions, there are the Aezomites, and there are those who seek to find escape from their fear, or from our world with their fear."
One strange thing to note may be that these people, these followers, I'm not sure what to call them yet, but they may not be allied with the Aezomites at all. In fact, they may be enemies if they seek to devour their blood. They may be even more isolated and more without allies than the Aezomites are.
Yes, it does seem that we both have a common interest in the death of the Aezomites, but I do not think they would seek the eradication.
No.
In fact, if they got their way, they might even seek to farm or replicate this venom in a new way. And who is to say what long-term effects having this venom in you could cause? New powers, new curses, new warlocks.
This puts the person in the Oasis who was like keeping an Aezomite alive in her basement in a whole new light.
Yeah, it does.
Jeez.
Maybe she was like...
Do not like that.
I guess she didn't have glowing green eyes,
No.
The Keeper of the Oasis.
It's still just an uncomfortable parallel, though.
Yeah, it is. I think, well then, as they finish tearing down camp and begin, they start loading up the Sandrakes for the next days. It's the next day, and they're ready to head out. They mark this location on their map for further exploration, but...
Yeah.
I guess would they fill it in?
I don't know. I'm not even entirely sure if they wouldn't go back in right away. Like...
Oh, and explore it some more?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. So they explore it some more.
Because there were those other tunnels and stuff.
They map out the tunnels, and it is indeed a small dungeon.
Right.
As far as dungeons go, right? It's not 100 floors.
Uh-huh.
It is connected to more dungeon, but those paths are all caved in and collapsed. And after maybe a day or two of further exploration, the Keeper realizes, this is not our objective to explore dungeons, but to hunt Aezomites, and it appears that there is none here. But we shall... Maybe she sends a message to the Empress to say, he says someone to... Maybe there's like dungeon scouts to explore this area or something for further study. But they're about to head out on their way. I think Tirlan and the Keeper share the same howdah. They ride the same Sandrake. And as they are getting on, the Keeper says, "Are you sure you're all right? I saw when I entered that room that day, you had a brief flash of fear on your eye. It was small, but I know you well to recognize it." You saw him, didn't you?
Yes.
Tirlan, there is no shame in still having fear. I think it is what keeps us human.
Of course.
I know that normally you have only these conversations with Aylan. Let me ask you clearly, and say it to me now. Not as an order from your Keeper, but as a request from your friend. What did your father do to you that makes you fear him so much?
He burned down our home while my brother was still inside. And I survived because when I saw it, I ran.
I think it's just silent. I think she just nods in silence and says, "I am sorry." Are you afraid that you shall repeat the sins of your father?
No. But I am afraid that I may never be able to outrun them.
The Keeper looks off in the distance as their Sandrakes are beginning to move, and she says, "Then we are both on the run." But she smiles and says, "But we are growing stronger and faster." Yes. Do not worry, Tirlan. If he were to ever catch up to you, you would not be facing him alone. Besides, you are a ruthless killer.
What a comforting thing to say, yeah.
And you have made this desert a safer place for all the little girls and boys who shall hopefully live in places where they will never have to face their fear day in and day out like we do. So come. She slaps her legs and, maybe there's like a rein to the Sandrake and she kind of whips it so it goes a little faster. She says, "There are more Aezomites to hunt."
There always are.
And then I think you say that and the Keeper's like, "Yes, unfortunately. we shall work until that becomes a lie." And they ride off into the dunes and continue on the hunt. I think that's the end.
Yeah, that's the end.
Well, Jamie, what are your closing thoughts on that as we wrap up?
Oh boy, that was fun. I was toying a little bit with like do I want this to be one of those stories where like there's a betrayal at the end? Like that'd be kind of dope. But I also didn't really want to put in all that work.
Yeah. Also, like we do have to have them all arrive and meet the party.
Also,
so they
very
can't,
true.
like,
Yeah.
There's that continuity.
No.
Yeah. I love when we do these one shots and I go, well, dang, I want more adventures.
Yeah. No, they're fun. They're cool.
With Tirlan and Corley and Cool. Yeah. Very exciting. Well, patrons, I hope you enjoyed that. I guess more like serious Indiana Jones style adventure.
Thank you, patrons.
Thank you, patrons. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, if you want more adventures of the Keeper in the Desert, let us know. We can always do a second part.
Literally
I suppose.
everything we do can have a sequel. We can sell out. It's fine. We can just do sequels. Everything we come up with.
I mean, I guess we are locked into a third episode of the Ballad of Bombadil.
Yeah.
We did sign ourselves into that. We're wanting to do more Quillbur quests. We just can't get around to it. Yeah. But the original stuff is also good too.
No,
anyway.
Oh, yeah.
All right. This has been long enough of an episode already.
True.
Thank you, patrons.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
See ya. Bye.